140s on the East Coast.
Okay.
I work at a sale barn, and so she was kind of the most expensive horse we had. And
Okay.
so I'm just borrowing her.
Okay.
I'm Alex.
Alex.
This is Kayano. He's an 8-year-old. He came over from Germany
Okay.
in December.
Okay.
And he's a little bit behind for being 8. He's just jumped a couple 135s, but
Okay.
I think we'll make a nice 145
Okay.
horse.
Oh, here we go. I got my voice again.
How are you?
Good. How are you?
Very good, thank you. Jamie,
Jamie, I know. Yeah.
this is Lucero.
Okay.
He's a little late start in his life, so he's 12.
Okay.
He's done some Grand Prix.
Okay.
But needs a lot of just flat work, like you were saying. Just
Okay.
stability is a big stride, so
Okay.
keeping him smooth through those collections is going to be.
Okay. Okay. We'll work on it.
Hi, Michelle.
Michelle, I met. Yeah.
This is Ducky.
Okay. Ducky.
I call him Ducky.
Okay.
A lot of meter 45 Grand Prix. This year only one. I had an injury in October, but he's a bit of a nervous horse with traffic, and
Okay.
he's a pretty cold horse.
Okay.
But,
Okay. 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 So names again. Megan. Caitlyn. Alex. Jamie. Michelle. Megan, Caitlyn, Alex, Jamie, and Michelle. I'm really bad with names, so forgive me for it when I call you Fred. Okay, so I hope that you guys got to see some of the first clinic, and I don't know if you guys got to watch, because it will help you if you did, because you maybe saw a little bit of the system. So we're going to do the same exact thing with your horses and see how they respond. And I know you guys are maybe a little farther along than the first group, so I would love to see a little more exaggerated of what I'm trying to show you guys and what they would like to see, and let's see how your horses respond, okay? So let's start out like the first group did with the posting Trot around. And as I explained before, the first couple of minutes are almost my most important minutes on the horse, because this is when I ask myself, how does my horse feel to me today and why? This is when my horse is communicating with me, talking to me. I ask myself, how does he feel today? Does he feel stiff? Does he feel fresh? Does he feel tired? Why? Did I do too much yesterday? Did I do not enough? And so these few minutes are so important to me to figure out why my horse feels as he does, and in the future, how can I bring out the best in my horse at the time that I want him to be the best? So Jamie, my first impression is he's a little bit spooky. I nicely encourage him. I take mentally a note. The horse is spooky. Maybe I know him and I know he's like that, so it's normal, but it's also my first impression. Say he's a new horse to me. I say, aha, he's spooky. Megan, I feel like he has a lot of energy. I know that the first thing I want to do is get him to relax. And so I use these first couple of minutes to judge my horse, to ask myself, why does he feel like this today? That way, when it comes to the big event, I can prepare my horse the best way possible. I can say to myself, well, he's the best when I turned him out all day yesterday and rode him for 20 minutes in the afternoon on a trail. I can say, he's the best because I gave him a really good flat work with a lot of galloping, got rid of the excess energy. I can say, he does this because of this. And that's why these first couple of minutes are so important to me. I don't really care where the horse's head is, but he's telling me a lot of things about himself that are important for me for my record book. As he's spooking, I nicely encourage him to go forward, and I take these couple of minutes to get my horse nice and relaxed, but forward. He's got to be listening to the legs. The horse must always be listening to the legs. The horse must always always be in front of the leg. So if I have a hotter horse, I don't need to encourage him as much, but I can just relax and allow him, like Caitlyn, just to go nicely forward. If I have a sluggish horse, I have to ask him to trot forward, make sure he's responsive to that leg. If I have a spooky horse, maybe he has to be also a little slightly more on the leg, responsive to the leg, because I know he's going to spook, and so therefore he has got to be reactive to the leg. So these ladies are showing us a nice, good trot. Good, Michelle, he looks already a little bit looser. And they gradually start asking their horses to do some circles to the right, to the left. And in those circles, I ask myself once again, does my horse feel stiff to the right, stiff to the left? Is that normal? Is that not normal? Why is he trotting so short? Did he get new shoes yesterday? Next time I won't shoe him the day before the Grand Prix. Or did he get his teeth done? Did that help? And so all these things are going through my head in the first couple of minutes of my riding, and I'm making sort of a logbook in my head. What's working? What was good? What was wrong? And how I can either repeat it or change it. These are the first couple of minutes that I so like in writing, because there's so much information that I'm gathering, and it's important. I'm not just trotting around like listening to music on my iPod or whatever. I'm actually really listening to my horse. And then gradually I start to get the horse a little bit more in front of my leg, especially if it's a sluggish horse. It needs to be a little more reactive to the leg. And I start using these turns, right turns, left turns. And I start asking more and more when my horse is warm for him to go forward, to slow down, to turn right, to turn left. The four basic things that I need to ride the course. Personally, I always make sure I have enough spur, I have enough bit, so that my horse reacts to the aids immediately. Doesn't think about it. I don't have to jiggle my hands back and forth. If I want that horse to slow down, I raise up my hands, sit in my saddle, rock that horse back on its hind legs. If I want it to go forward, I think forward, and I have enough spur that even when I have trained that horse to go forward, it immediately goes forward. He doesn't even think about it. Good. Try your sitting trot there in the corner, a nice little circle, bending him. Going forward, coming back, turning right, turning left. Good, excellent. And then my collections are not too long, because I want that horse always to be thinking forward, always to be in front of my leg. So my collections are moments where I am rocking my horse back on its hind legs, getting it in balance, and the horse is just waiting for me to release him again, because he's always thinking forward. Good there, Megan. Make a little circle around the red oxer maybe. Show us how he bends to the right. Sort of looking, spooking. I put my leg there, and then I ask him to go forward immediately again. And I try to exaggerate this more and more. Good, Caitlyn. I'm working my horse constantly on those four elements that are going to be necessary for the course. Forward, backward, right turn, left turn. Excellent, nice. I'm testing out the legs, I'm checking the bridle, I'm checking the bit, and I'm making sure everything is working and functioning as good as possible. I'm not overly concerned where the horse's head is. I feel when the horse is working well from the leg, the head drops into a comfortable position for the horse, and that's where the horse is most comfortable. I'm working on the impulsion, the balance, forward, backward, right turn, left turn. And once I feel that this is working well at the trot, I go to the canter when I'm ready, and I do the same thing at the canter. I ask the forehorse to go forward first, come back, make little turns, go forward, come back. And I make sure that everything is working like I want it to. When the horse doesn't go forward, then I exaggerate my aids to teach the horse to react quickly. Because I don't have much time in these courses to do a lot of pulling or a lot of kicking. So that horse needs to be responsive to those aids, needs to be on it. The horse needs to be attentive to me. And the horse needs to know my signals. So when I use leg, the horse goes immediately forward. When I sit deep, the horse comes back. I try different seats. I use a light seat. I use a full seat. I like to change the length of the horse. Maybe this one looks a little bit like he stays kind of, or she, at the same sort of rhythm and canter. So I want to teach her to get longer and then to get shorter, to go more forward, to come back. Also this one, to get her, Megan, a little bit longer and then a little bit shorter. Don't be afraid if she reacts in certain ways. You've got to test out these aids on the flat so that it's going to work in the course for you. The more you can practice on the flat and get everything working well, the easier the course will be to ride. So I actually exaggerate a little bit. Good. Because I want to exaggerate these aids so that they are working precisely in the course. I choose maybe a little fence, I have fun, I make little turns, I go forward, you have a beautiful ring, I gallop, I put that horse back on its hind legs, changing speeds, changing lengths of frame, getting the horse to work with me, and getting the horse to listen to my signals. If I put a little leg, the horse immediately goes forward. If I sit, that horse already rocks back on its hind legs, and I don't need to pull or jerk or move my hands back and forth. And I keep my work, my everyday work, very similar, so the horse knows what he's being asked and learns to respond to these signals. Let's see a forward gallop down, collection, and then a short turn around that red oxer. So we're getting that horse to go forward, come back, turn right, turn left. And like I said before, there's lots of different systems, but this is a system that's worked for me to concentrate on what's coming up in the course and to practice it. So I often think, here comes the open water in my flat work where there are no fences. Oh, here comes the double vertical. Here comes that short turn back to the triple bar. And I think of all these things that are going to come up. I make up imaginary courses in my mind, and I practice them on the flat, because we cannot jump the horse every day. So we need to practice the course without jumps. So I gallop across the middle of the ring, I slow him down, I turn him right, I turn him left, and that's how I work my horse so he's ready for the course. And I work on the things he's not good at. I work on the things he doesn't do well, because that's the only way I can improve him. And it really is very important on the flat, because it does carry over. If I have trouble at the canter, I go back to the trot, I review what I learned at the trot, and then I repeat it again at the canter, till I get my horse going forward, coming back, turning right, turning left, and I'm working on all the things that are going to come up for me in the course. when I feel my horse is working well, he's listening to me, he's got those 4 basic aids, pat, down pat. Then I go back to the trot, I let him relax, lengthen his stride, stretch his head and his neck, and I think about all the things that worked for me, what didn't work, what I need to improve. I try not to use the same bit in my basic flat work that I'm going to use jumping, because I feel that a lot of horses get used to bits. So I usually have 1 or 2 different flatting bits that I like, and a showing bit or 2, in fact, that I can use for jumping. And although I do the same signals, although I say the same thing so that my horse learns my signals, I don't do exactly the same work every day. I don't get on and say, okay, 45 minutes later, 15 minutes trot, this many minutes canter, because, you know, they're animals and we have to respond to how they feel. So maybe on one day I feel my horse is tired, I do less, I go out on a trail ride, I change it, I put him in the paddock. If he's fresh, maybe I feel like he needs more. So I'm constantly reacting to how my horse feels. Very, very, very important. So these ladies have showed us really nicely how to work the horse, how to get the horse forward, how to get the horse back. And their horses are nice and supple. And then we'll see how this can carry over into our jumping. They all look very relaxed. When you guys are ready, then you can walk. When you're finished, and then we can make an order here for jumping. And we're going to really work in our warm-up ring on creating the shape. And as I spoke to the other group, it's all about the fence being my friend, letting the fence create the shape of the horse. And how do I do that? I do that by providing my horse with enough pace and then giving him time to the fence, balance and time, so that he thinks slowly. Now, this has been a process through my life that I've gotten used to doing. Most of the horses I have ridden all my life are blood horses. They have a lot of forward momentum, and they need to think slow, to take time to make the best jump possible. If you have a cold horse, of course, this system has to be slightly adjusted, because if you get him to think slow at the fence and he doesn't have enough blood, you need to react to that. But I'm teaching you today what I've used over many years to create the best shape possible, and we'll see how each of these horses responds. And in the first group, we had one horse that was difficult and had a hard time with the system, but I did enforce that I would train that horse again and again and again and again in hopes that he would learn and he would improve. And then in the course, I would make the adjustments to be able to go clear, to make his life easy. But I would train him the same exact way. Okay, so who wants to start?
I'll go.
Great. So we're going to start over the cross, just like the last group did, and just catch it once off the right, once off the left, and then we're going to basically work on warming him up for the course and trying to get the best shape possible. So Jamie's going to show us a nice rhythm, pace. And as she turns to the jump, she's going to sit in her saddle. Good. The first couple of fences are not that important to me. I just am listening a little bit how my horse feels today. But gradually, I'm going to start with this system of getting him to slow down, rock back on his hind legs. Good. That was right. Excellent. That was just right. The only difference would be I would just soften that hand a little bit more at the fence. fence so that the fence does the work for you, okay? Otherwise, the ride was good. Make a circle and then come around and show us at the vertical. I don't mind the inside turn, but make sure you stay out and get straight to the fence. Slow it down. Good. Don't forget to let go of his mouth at the fence. So let's try that same idea, a little smoother. He's just fighting you a little bit, if possible, a little smoother. Soften. So I like the strides to the fence, but I'd like you, walk for a sec, to get this much closer. And how do you do that? I don't want you to leg him. I want you to soften your hand so that he gets up here. We have a nice ground rail, and then he has a nice shape at the fence. If he hits the fence, that's his fault because I didn't make it too difficult for him. I want you to have enough pace like you're having, and then I want you to wait patiently with as soft a hand as possible, and then soften your hand at the fence to create the shape. Stay out so you're straight. Take your time. One more stride than that. So that's a nice distance for the ring, but for training, let's try one more stride than that. Go out, take your time, all the time in the world to the fence, so that the horse is waiting nicely for you. Perfect. Good. Keep going, get the little oxer. Let go a little here. Show us the other frame, a little longer, letting the horse exhale, and then stay out. And I want you to wait with the horse in balance to the fence. Waiting, waiting. One more stride. That's perfect for the ring. Let's go two bigger with the oxer. Gallop again. Go way out. Let him get long. Let him open up. And then sit in your saddle in the turn. And one more stride. One more stride so that the horse is slowing down, taking time. Soften. That's the way. Let's go two and wider. Walk for a minute, and then we're going to try it off the left. That was better. I know it's not easy, so you have to start in gradual steps, but that's the idea. And that's what we want the horse to do, to rock back on his hind end, get his shoulder up, and get round, and the fence does that for you. You give him the pace, you give him the correct balance, you teach him to wait, his ears should go forward, he shouldn't have any distraction of you pulling on him. That's the ideal world. Try once up the left. Going out, taking all the time in the world, sitting in your saddle. Well, oxer, please. Just waiting. Good. One more time. Let's go two. One more time. Gallop now. Let him get that long frame. A little bit wider, please. Let him get long, because this is what we need to change. We need to change the frames. He's now sit. Raise your hand a little, rock him back, tell him to wait. Tell him to wait. Excellent. Let go. Good. Okay. Very good. That's the shape I want. That's what you have to do here in the warm-up ring to create that shape so it carries over to the ring, right? And the more you do it, the less he'll run through your hand out of the turn. You know, horses horses are creatures of habit. He will learn.
Right.
Okay? So if you do that every time, sooner or later, he's actually going to stop resisting you, stop running through your hand, and just wait and concentrate on the jump without any distractions from the rider. Let's catch the vertical once off the left. So the same thing, you need to slightly exaggerate it to keep that shape. And then I want to see you let go at the jump and let the horse curl over the jump. That's a good pace. Now I sit already now, and I raise my hand a little to rock him back, and now I wait, and now I wait. Can we go two bigger? I would do one more stride. Change your direction, get it off the left. It's harder, but it teaches him more. I would do one more stride. Just wait. Good. Good. Soften. Excellent. Okay. Very, very good. Because that's using the fence to create the shape. And as he gets better, I would wait for that distance with less hand, and that would make the same amount of strides this much closer to the fence, and gradually he would get that much better in shape. Do you understand?
Yeah.
Okay, so you're going to show us the course. You know the course, right?
I do not know.
Oh, okay. So it's outside line is a little bit of a moving 6.
Okay.
Thus far, everybody started a little bit too slow. So pick up, get enough pace back there. I don't want to see you have to gallop down there in the 6, so you get down the 6, then it's off your eye. If you want a number, is it maybe an outside 8 or a direct 7? It doesn't matter. I want you to write it off your eye. Okay. Then I want you to think about the time allowed, quick around, but then take time again to jump the vertical, the black, towards me. Yep. This the little narrow wall, so that's taking time and having direction, making sure the horse stays between hand and leg. Gallop over to the outside line for the time allowed. That's the little bit flowing 4. A neat but smooth turn to the yellow oxer. Very steady 6. It's an add. Steady 6, very steady 2. Body back. Inside the wall, back on the pink oxer, direct up in the 6, so the 6 gets slow, because that's a jump I would use to create the shape again. And then gallop around, the double ride's a little bit long off that turn, and then first land and let go, but then waiting to again get the shape at the Liverpool.
Okay, and how many to the Liverpool?
Any number you want. You can let go first and then slow down.
Okay, 6. Oscar, and go slowly to the little wall, 4, steady at 2, 5, 6, the double, the Liverpool.
Good. So enough pace to start, because I would like you to get up to the base of number 1, so we still keep the shape, but we need to also have enough stride to get down the 6 without having to leg. So she starts with a good forward momentum and a nice loose, relaxed arm, and she's still going to keep the shape. At fence number 1, it's a little bit ramped, so she can use that fence to create the shape. Good. Good. Very good. Excellent. That's okay. Come right around, right in front of me maybe, and then just jump it. Or right around, doesn't matter. Jump it. There's a little bit surprise there between hand and leg. That's okay. So give him a tap with that stick on the right side. A little harder, a little harder. And then roll around and get it, it doesn't matter, off the right or off the left. He can hop over this with all that scope. It doesn't matter. You just hold him together. Direct him. Don't run me over. Direct him. Make him wait. Direct him. Direct him. There we go. Beautiful. Keep going. Let go. Get that stride again. Nice. Eyes are looking. Steady. Soften, keep him straight. Good. Eyes looking again. A little bit loose here for the time allowed. Very good. Letting go. Good. Now slowing down. Excellent. Very good ride. Excellent ride. He was a little green at the wall. I'd like you to come around and jump the wall once off the right, once off the left. Slow together. A lot of riders make the mistake when the horse is spooky to chase the horse, to let go of the mouth, and the horse loses its way. That's the time you need to put your butt in that saddle. Your butt is not going to leave that saddle until the horse jumps that fence. Very good. I had a horse called Checkmate that was always spooky at waters, Liverpools, things like that. And when I went to it, I held onto his head and I sat in that saddle and I told myself, my butt is not leaving this saddle until he's over that fence. Very good. Super job, Jamie. Nice job. So when he gets green like that, put him back on his hind legs, make him add. That keeps him in your funnel so that you can give him more direction. The minute you let go, some riders chase the horse and flop their elbows, and then they have no chance. You've got to put them on their hind legs, make sure they're between hand and leg, because that was the only fault in the whole course. The rest was good. He had a beautiful shape. You felt like you could get that out there. And the better he gets, the more you can exaggerate it. The more you can gallop between the fences because you're not worried you're going to lose the mouth. And the more you can use that fence to create that great shape.
Yeah.
Good. Very well done. Okay. So Michelle is coming next. All right, let's catch the cross when you're ready. Once off the right, once off the left. Good. So let go a little here, gallop a little, then turn the corner, sit in your saddle, raise your hand, and just wait for the fence. Good, let's put a little vertical. So I would stay out a stride longer in the turn so you're straighter. I would stay out. I see a little tendency for people to turn a little early to the fence. Remember, straightness is so important. You can make a circle. Straightness is so important. Stay out a little longer in that turn, particularly when there's no time allowed in the warm-up ring. So I would go out, take my time, make sure that horse is straight. Very good. Excellent. Let's go 3, please. Very, very good. Gallop a little there. Stay out. Look all the time in the world. Giving that horse the opportunity to put his ears forward. Concentrate on that top rail without a distraction from his rider. I would have done one more there. Let's go 3 again. I would have done one more there because that jump did not slow my horse down and it did not create the shape. It was a nice, easy jump, but it wasn't the jump I was looking for to create the shape. That's better. Nice. Very good. Keep going off the left and get the little oxer. That was better. That that was what I was talking about. Very good. Let's go 2 bigger and wider. Gallop a little there. You can go way out while they fix the fence. Gallop a little, get that pace. And then stay out for the straightness. You've done a good job. You've done a very nice job keeping him straight at the jump. He goes a little bit left. The pace is important here, so my horse never struggles across the back rail. And now I just wait. Yeah, soften. Very good. Walk a second. Let's go 3 and wider. Very good. We're going to do it once off the left and then once off the right, but that's now the right idea. So the horse is getting a nice bascule over the fence. Once off the left, once off the right. Enough pace there. That takes care of the back rail for me. And then I just wait. It was a little bit forward, but off that turn, not so bad. Make a circle. Let's go 2 bigger and a little wider. It was a little hard to do one more stride there off that short turn. If I were to do it again, I would have had a little more pace. So I would do the same stride, but the jump would be less forward. Okay, very good. All right, we're going to jump the vertical. Walk a minute. You can put that oxer back down again. Yeah, let's put that 3. So you're creating that shape. You're getting that horse, and the horse is trusting you because you're not putting it in a position where it has no chance. You're giving that horse pace, balance, letting him focus in on the jump, and that's my idea of trying to create the best jump possible. So now we'll do our last vertical. Let's do it off the right. Little bit more pace, like you're going to do the first line. I'm watching your horse thinking maybe you'll do 7 down the first line because the 6 might be too flat, but you know your horse and you know what you usually like to do.
I really do either well, but I just have to make a plan.
Okay, let's jump the last vertical and then we'll make a plan.
Okay.
So a little bit of a gallop here, and then taking all the time in the world, slowing down to the fence, letting the fence create the shape. Excellent. Okay, very good. Remember in the takeoff to soften your hand, keeping your body back, but soften your hand, not holding the horse off, not distracting the horse with your hand at the jump in the warm-up ring, okay? So you're gonna do of your choice.
A lot of times I just kind of how I hit the first.
Okay, let's watch her. You know the rest of the course, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Black to the wall, horse ride. There's 2 options.
Perfect. Okay. So in general, I'm always trying to come to the same distance to the fence in the warm-up ring. Again, and again, and again, and again. So the horse realizes, knows what to do with his body at the fence. Very well ridden. Good. Good reaction. Keep him in front of your leg there so you don't have to leg him at the fence. Good. Eyes looking. Okay. Again, a little pace, relaxed arm out of the turn. Good. Let go and then slow down. Okay. So my comment on this ride and this horse is you need to keep the horse a little bit more in front of the leg, a little bit more between hand and leg. Because to the wall, for instance, he lost his way, right? But that was only because of legs. It didn't look like a spook or something to me, right? Then it was a little deep. Then you had to ride forward there for the 4, you know, and then it caught up to you. So the rail came from that part. So always keep the horse in front of your leg. The whole idea is that you don't have to chase the horse at the fence and you don't have to ride the jump out of the horse. We're teaching the horse to use his body, to use that shape. I would like to see you do one more time the vertical to the wall, keeping the horse between your leg and hand. I liked how you waited, but you need more leg at that waiting. Then I want to see you pick up, do the 4 without having to chase and leg the horse, so we keep the shape, and then I want to see the line with the double vertical. Okay. So that one more time. So she needs to keep that horse slightly more in front of the leg, so she doesn't need leg. So it's active riding, so you can be passive. It's having the horse going, so you can slow down at the jump. So she gets enough pace here, forward in front of the leg, and when she sits to wait for the fence and balances the horse, she keeps her leg. She keeps her leg. She keeps her leg. So she sits and waits, but she keeps her leg. Better. Gallop and let go. Little slow. So she had to do the same. It was basically the same thing that happened to her again. We'll see if the horse responds better anyway to the double vertical. Nope, it caught up to her again. Okay. So this part was better, and then you just needed to relax your arm a little for that. Because you got the same, unfortunately, the same ride again, right? And then you paid for it. So we're trying all the time to keep enough pace so that you don't have to leg like that at the fence, because it always catches up to you. You might get lucky at that jump, but sooner or later, even maybe it's the end of the course. You know, so that's what we got to concentrate on. And the only small difference would be I would just let go, trust yourself, relax a little, you know, and let go so you see that other distance there. But otherwise, very good. Good. Okay. You ready? Okay, so let's catch the little cross. Nice. Canter a little there. Let him get a little bit more open. And then sit and wait a little. Good. Very good. Let's jump a little vertical. A little bit smaller. Yeah, that's perfect. So here we're letting him exhale. We're letting his canter get big and long. And then we're using the signal of sitting in our saddle, raising our hand, getting him to just wait, take time. Let's go 4 bigger with him. Here, letting him go forward a little bit, letting him extend his canter, going out, taking time, raising your hand a little. Let's go 3 again. Let's try one more stride if possible, so that fence is doing more work, so that fence is creating that shape. Particularly here in the warm-up ring, he looks very rideable, so let's use that fence to create the shape. Yeah. Good. Much better. Okay. Keep going, get the little oxer. That was better. His shape got better. I know he fought you through the turn, but his shape got better. And if you continue to do that, he'll stop fighting you as much because he understands the program. Good. Excellent. Let's go 3 bigger. And a little bit wider, please. So here you let him get longer, the frame changes. This is like where you practice the galloping in between the jumps in the course, and then you sit and you bring him back. Pretty good. Let's go 3 again. You can walk for a sec. So he was fighting you a little bit there, so you nicely made it work, you know? When it's low enough, and when you get more comfortable, I would make him add 1 more as he gets better. But I can see you have a lot of feeling for the distance, and you let him get up to it in any case. So it wasn't a bad jump, but to make him improve when the fences are lower, I would be a little more insistent and not just compromise, make him work a little bit more. But as this gets higher, we want to make it fair and not too difficult, that it's unfair. So that, you know, that would have been a fine ride for this height, right? Okay, so let's get it off the left. Let's put it a little bit wider than that. That's great. So enough pace here, because the pace takes care of the width. And then sitting, looking. Excellent ride. Excellent ride. Okay, very good. Yeah, that's good. Let's go 2 with this vertical. Very good. We're going to jump 1 vertical. Nicely take time, slow it down. Good. Good decision. Excellent. Do you feel that difference in the jump?
Yeah.
That was outstanding. Really good. Walk a minute, and we're going to jump the course. You see how he came up, his withers came up, he came off the fence, and the fence was doing the work for you, right?
That's very hard for me.
It was excellent. Excellent. So walk a minute, think about your course. You've seen these guys now, so you can make mental adjustments to try to make your course the best possible. I'm going to grab a water, and when you're ready, you can start. Good start. Very good. Excellent. Now for the time allowed, you keep him going, but as you turn to the fence, balance. Good. Very well ridden. Nice. Very good. Eyes are looking for the time allowed, keeping the pace, keeping the momentum. Good, good choice. That set up the 6 perfectly. Beautiful. A time allowed again now, right there, over there, because you know you want the 6 to get slowing down to keep the shape. Excellent. Very good. Pick up again, letting him get longer again, but then sitting in your saddle. Very good. Excellent. Super ride. Nice. There wasn't too much for me to criticize in that round. Very, very good. You warmed him up beautifully, you got the shape, and you rode the course absolutely according to plan. Super. Good job. Nice. Okay. You're next? Who's next?
He's gonna go.
Okay. Caitlyn, right? You're gonna go next, right? Yes. Okay, perfect. When you're ready, let's catch the cross. So a nice, relaxed, very good. So these first couple of crosses, you just ask yourself how my horse feels, how is his jump, how does he feel, what's he telling me? Good, okay. Walk a minute, we're gonna put a little vertical. And as we now start doing more and more fences, I start slowly exaggerating a little bit more the technique of going forward, slowing down to the fence, using the fence to create the shape. I noticed that he has a little drift, or she, so that's something I always keep in mind. Every single fence in the warm-up ring is important to keep the horse straight, because we all know that if we don't do that in the ring, it gets very difficult, right? Okay, so let's catch the little vertical. And now she starts to get the system of slowing the horse down, so the horse takes time at the jump. Good, let's go 3, please. Letting go now here, and then turning the corner, sitting in the saddle, using my weight to signal the horse to rock back on its hind legs and to take time for the fence. Excellent ride. I like that. A lot of people would say, oh, it was way too deep, let's go 3. But for me, if the horse knows that distance, it's not unfair. The horse is learning to back up, bring its shoulder up, and curl around the fence. Slowing it down now. I was a little bit forward the last couple of strides. Walk a minute. So the idea, in simple terms, I said to the other group, is fast to slow, okay? That was a little rushed at the end. I want the horse to take time, look at the fence, think about it, and make a slower jump. Especially a little blood horse like this, I want her to make a slower jump. So the way I do that is by giving her enough pace and slowing her down to the fence. So she thinks slow at the fence. I need to have that pace so she has the ability to jump the back rail without me legging her. And so I try to come as many distances exactly the same way. So the horse is always in the same position and can always make the same jump. So let's try the oxer. Oxers are often easier because they back the horse up more, and they're even more friendly because they create the shape better. Better, okay? and wider. That was better. So go deep in your turn, and then just take all the time in the world. If you have enough pace, just let her just wait so that she slows down to the jump. And keep her straight, keep her on the left side too, please, and wider. Two, yeah. Let's make a circle. Let's open her up a little. And then I want to see you go out and take more time and keep her to, keep her in balance, keep her on her hind legs, and try to get the feeling of her waiting, slowing down to the fence. She has plenty of blood. She has plenty of forward momentum. We want her to think slow at the jump. So that was speeding up again to the fence. Let's go 2, please. Let's walk and change our direction. Come again off the right. Let's try one more stride, okay? Let's try just one more stride. So that she's just getting, because she gets a little bit quick and forward at the jump, which means flat. So I want her to think a little bit slower. Let's see if she responds to that. But we have to start with by maybe adding one more stride out of the turn. She has plenty of forward momentum. You're giving her plenty of pace. That's good. And now just patiently wait a little. That's okay. Stop her and back her up. Let's try it one more time. I want you to have the relaxed feeling to the fence and not like a short last couple of strides. I would like every stride to be the same, but in a waiting fashion. So let's try it one more time. So that was a little bit too much, right? So I don't want the last 2 strides to be shorter. I want them to be the same length. So stay out and just nicely wait, nicely. Perfect, perfect. That was better. Keep going. Let's get the vertical 3, please. That was much better, much. Did you get that feeling there? You can make a circle if you want, and then jump the vertical. And try the same thing. Just nicely waiting so that she doesn't speed up at the fence, that she's taking enough time. Excellent. That was perfect. Good. Very good. That's the idea. Okay? You understand what I'm trying to say? If you have enough pace, then she can just balance. She has plenty of momentum and energy. It's fabulous. But you can just wait to the fence, right? And then that'll keep her rounder. That'll keep her, sharper. That'll keep everything, just a little bit better. Now, I don't know her, but I'm looking at her stride and thinking 7. Okay, 7, and then you can look new, then the rest is pretty straightforward. You have to do the 4 there, the 6 will be just balancing, That 6 will be direct, and then the last line. Okay. So a horse like this can always slow down to the jump because it has plenty of forward momentum. Good. Good. Now just wait, patient, direction. Oops. So just for a second, that's what I didn't want to see, Put her back on her hind leg. She can jump that from the trot. Make her wait. Keep her between hands and legs. Wait till you're absolutely sure she knows where she's going. Better. So that's where I said, like with the others, sit in your saddle, hold her between hand and leg. Now you need to pick up a little for the 4. And now you need to put it back together a little, so because that was a little bit late in the 4, and it might have think forward. Now slow down. Good ride. Good ride. There, you repaired the error. Very good. Good. Watching that drift. She's drifting into the inside, making sure you keep her straight. Very good. Okay. In general, quite good. Walk a second. Then I'd like to see you do that again, the black to the wall. And like I said before, that's where I sit in that saddle and I say to myself, my butt is not leaving this saddle until my horse is over the fence. Because, and if they're quick about it and if you're leaning forward, you might fall off. So I am always telling myself on some of these funny, spooky jumps like that, my butt is not leaving this saddle. If that horse is going down, I'm going down, but I am not leaving this saddle. So that's a place where I would take her back between your hand and your leg, wait, because most of the time it's not a spook, it's just that she doesn't sight in on that. So give her time. A fence like that, a triple combination, sometimes they just need time. Give her the time, right? Make up the time allowed somewhere else, but take your time there. Then I want to see you land and let go a little. You were a little late to remember that. And then the 4 got forward, but you repaired it beautifully, and she did that fine. But I want to see this line and that line again, okay? And you got a nice idea of letting go and trying to slow down at the fence to create the shape. So now she sits and waits. Perfect. Then a hard jump becomes an easy jump. Now she has to let go, like Michelle was having trouble. Yep. So that the 4 gets easy. Better. Much better. So you don't ride out the jump. Good. Okay. Because she has such a forward jump, she would respond really well to this system. You know, and even if you have to do the 7, eventually when you get more comfortable, I would land and go forward so that the 7 got steady. I would land and let go so the next jump got steady. I would land and go forward so that, so that she's always on her hind legs and can make the best jump possible. Okay? Good. Okie dokie. All right, you ready? Oh, you got braids and everything, plaits. So nice, easy, sort of relaxed jump over 1 and 2. Good. Keeping the horse straight. Yeah, if you feel it necessary. I don't know about the changes, or if you want to go back to the trot to slow the horse down. Staying nice and relaxed, a little bit of a tense horse, so we're trying to get him to relax. Sitting in your saddle, just balancing. Good. That was better with the straightness. A little vertical, thank you. That was better with the straightness. And as I warmed up and my horse warmed up, I would slowly start to try try to get him to wait a little bit better, a little bit longer, but I have to let him exhale between the fence, so I relax off, and then I nicely ask him to wait. Good, nice, beautiful. Let's do 3. So he has a funny, racky canter, so you have to do the best job you can with that, but you want him to stay in balance to the fence. You don't want him to be distracted by you, so you try to have enough pace and then just sit and nicely ask him to wait. Very good. Let's go 3 again. In between here, this is where I would get in my half seat, let him exhale, let him get longer. And then I would already, because of his racky canter, probably about now even, sit, rock him back on his hind legs, take a little, let go, take a little, let go, so that the canter, with his funny kind of racky canter, that he's there. Good, nice. Let's get the oxer when you're ready. Off the left, that was excellent. He had a little hind rub there, but it was not because of his rider, so she did nothing to make him fail. She gives him a little bit of pace, and don't be afraid to sit. Let's try to do one more stride. 2 please, higher. Let's try to do one more stride there, and a little wider, please. Let's try to do one more stride there. It's hard off the left turn, but you have to have enough pace so that you can patiently wade to the fence. Here's where you let go a little. Now, because of his racky canter, sit and just wait. Beautiful. Nice. 2, please. Very good. It's not easy with his canter, but he's doing a good job and you're doing a good job. Let go here with enough pace, and now just sit and take your time. Take your time. Very good. Excellent. So you see that jump that you created? That was not from knocking fences down. That was not from rushing him, running him through the fence. That was from giving him enough pace and just waiting to the fence. So let's go up with this vertical. You can go 2. And we do the same thing over the last vertical. You can make a circle if you want. The same thing. That was excellent. You got a beautiful shape there. You relax here. Don't forget to sit, because it's your weight that brings his weight back. Great. Good. So you got another nice little hind rub there. And that's what I would try to do to create that shape. You can see at the oxer, it's easier, because the oxers balance the horse better, to create that shape, and harder at the vertical, right? But that was well ridden, and he's nicely prepared. What's your feeling on the first line?
I think I'll let him keep coming so that I have enough and do the 6.
Okay.
Get there early enough.
Okay.
I'm afraid if I try for the 7, we'll get in an argument. We might get.
Okay. Okay. All right. And then the rest of the course, you know?
Yep. 6,
Good.
8, single. This will be interesting. 4, a little open. Get that done early. 6, 6, 2, and then 6 on the inside track. 1, 7 or 8.
Okay. So today you're allowed to show your horse the fence. In my day, most of the time you were not.
Yeah.
So when I come into the ring, I always do a little tour. I love to get in early if there's time, show the horse a little, and you can actually show him the wall.
Yep.
That's allowed. So, you know, you did already, right?
Yep.
But that would be something I would definitely do because it's allowed. So So she's going to get herself a nice pace so that the 6 doesn't run away from her. Because otherwise then she rides out all the jumps that we made in the warm-up ring. Everything to make him round goes out the window. Nice adjustment. Get him in front of the leg a little there. He looks slightly backed off. And now we're going to take all the time in the world, just nicely getting him, yeah, and wait. Good ride, very good ride. Let go a little to allow the 4. Nice. Great. Eyes are looking here. Good. Super. Right to the next fence for the time allowed. Nice and soft. Good. Excellent. Letting go again for the time allowed. Looking in. Beautifully ridden. Great ride. Super. Very well done. I would love for you to just do that line for him one more time to the wall. Just catch that black. That was excellently ridden. You learn from your colleagues, from what they did wrong. But he was a little green there. The rest was outstanding. The 6 was a little rough, but you were soft enough with your hand not to break the jump. So catch the black to the wall again with patience, just like you did. He made some beautiful, beautiful round jumps in the course. I loved your adjustment to the 7. The 6 would have been the wrong thing, and you didn't ruin the whole course because you were stuck to a number. Here you let go a little, so he has the pace, and then you sit and balance him. Good. Now you take time, give him time. Horses need time. That's okay. Good. Catch it again. She showed us that they can jump it from the trot, which I said. Come around again and just get the little wall off the right, get the little wall off the left. Keep your leg a little. When you're waiting, don't forget to keep your leg. It's a little hard with his funny canter. That's okay, good. Once off the left, once off the right. He'll get it. Good. One more time off the right, just to school him. I always try to give my horse time to think about what he's doing, particularly on these spooky fences or going into combinations. I don't like to rush my horse. Good. Okay. Excellent. Good. Well, I hope you guys learned a little bit of my system. You know, every horse is different. You have to make adjustments, but it's worked for me with all sorts of different horses, different types of horses. What I find so valuable is that they need enough pace, and then they need to think slow at the jump. That's like, they need time. They need to be given a second. Going into a hard triple combination, you need to have enough pace, but you need to give them time, not rush them. I don't know a horse that likes to be rushed, you know, so, but you can't not rush them if you don't have enough pace, right? Impulsion. And how do you get that? You start on the flat with getting the horse in front of your leg, bringing the horse back, keeping that impulsion so that your course is like a whole bunch of different speeds. It's not all one speed. It looks, when it's done well, like it's all one speed, but it's not. It's here, opening the horse up, getting around the turn to the next fence, slowing down to the double vertical, forward after the open water, to the open water, big, huge fields like, grass rings like spruce meadows, making the time allowed, but it's enough impulsion and giving the horse time to slow down, concentrate, and jump the fence. And that has been my system, for years now. And I've combined what you learn here in California, so great, the basics, riding precisely, knowing the number of strides, all that, and then moving to the next level, which is creating the best shape for your horse possible, the best jump. And so that's what I've done over these years, combining what I knew from here and learning from the Germans. The horse needs to function, they say. Forward, backward, right turn, left turn, it needs to work. That's like the direct translation from what they say. The horse muss funktionieren, he must function, everything must function. So if you think of it that way, it's sort of simple. It needs to go forward, it needs to go back, it needs to turn right and turn left. And that's how you can win jump-offs, forward, back, right turn, inside, all those things. So that's what I do on the flat every single day. I train those aids. I train those aids again and again at the trot, at the canter. I think of what's coming in the course so that I can constantly teach my horse these signals. And as he learns them better and better, they need to be less obvious and more subtle. In the end, Shutterfly, my greatest horse, he looked like a machine. Well, guess what? He was. Because he had learned to do whatever I told him. And he learned them from subtle things. From sitting deep, he would rock back. By getting in the light seat, he would go forward. He was, of course, one of the greatest horses to ever live, so he did it all so well. Most of the rest of our creatures need more help and more training. And he took a lot of training, but in the end, I had to think right, he went right. I had to think left, he went left, So that's the goal. And then using the fence always to create the shape. Because if you end up having to hold the horse off the fence, you break the jump, the horse loses its back, it loses its bascule. So you need that fence to help you. And that's how I train them. That's how I train them at home. That's how I train them in the warm-up ring. And in the ring, you guys are excellent riders. You guys are all fabulous riders. In the ring, you have to do your course plan, adjust accordingly, but the training and the everyday work, that's for me always the same. So the horses become creatures of habit and they respond to my signals without a lot of effort. That's the end result. And we start with our young horses in Germany, my husband Marcus and I, and we start from the very beginning teaching them the system. And of course there are horses that it's going to be harder for, and the horses are going to be easier for. And we usually try to choose horses that fit our system. We go out and look for horses that will respond to our system. And, we've been successful doing that. And you have to make adjustments along the way, but it's basically the same basic idea. And I hope you guys learned something from it today, can take something with you. Of course, you have to adjust to your own situations and horses and, but I hope you learned a little bit of the theory behind, my riding and what's enabled me to ride some great horses to success. So.
Very much.
You're welcome. You're welcome. You guys are such good riders. It's very, very easy and fun training. Okay.
Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
Appreciate it.
Yeah, good. You guys did this.